I'm a thief and unoriginal, and I'm okay with that. I find myself pretty selfish when it comes to music, especially when it comes to standing out. And admittedly, that's also the thing I struggle the most with. For a long time, I've always wanted to be unique and was too stubborn to ever look the other way. I tried making everything I wrote as original as possible, and if it wasn't obvious, I was asking for the impossible. And because of that, I have this overwhelming pressure to always make something new and exciting. And this voice in the back of my head kept telling me that it was never good enough. I was stuck with writer's block and really doubted myself in my ability as a musician. I lost confidence and I was crushed. Days felt like months, minutes felt like weeks, and while writing, seconds felt like years. I gave myself time to think, to reassess who I was, where I was in life, and what I was doing. And it wasn't very clear to me at the time, but I came to realize that a lot of what I was doing was hurting me. There was always this comparison with myself and others, as if I was always competing with them. And when listening to music, there was always this feeling of disappointment in myself. You know, these songs that I loved quickly became benchmarks, and I found myself becoming envious. And because of that, I never fully got to appreciate them. I mean, music is my life. Why am I not appreciating the very thing I love doing? You know, it felt like I was taking it all for granted. So I thought back to the first time I fell in love with music, with bands like Linkin Park, 3 Days Grace, Breaking Benjamin, and I remembered I was obsessed and excited. Their music had such a raw, passionate energy to me that scratched every itch. You know, I had them on repeat 24/7. They were the soundtracks to my childhood. Later down in my life, I discovered artists like Skrillex, and to me, it blew the doors open on what music could be. And in the journey of listening to electronic music, it led me to find Porter Robinson. And that alone was the reason I began to write music in the first place. You know, listening to his Worlds album and watching his live show in 2015 was life-changing. You know, that experience alone made me realize my dream of becoming a musician. You know, I wanted to give others the same experience that I felt. I thought about it all and listened to these songs again, and I thought back to how much these songs all meant to me, how much they comforted me in times of sadness or made my days so much more memorable. You know, how much some of them have changed me and brought me to where I am today. You know, I really took it all in. And then it was really clear that I wasn't making music to compete with anyone. It wasn't a numbers game or a validation. It was to connect with people, to share with others the love for music that I had and what it has done for me and made me feel. You know, I did it because I loved it. So with a fresh perspective, I went back to my Spotify playlist and started listening to these recent songs, on top of listening to new music too. And I let go of my thoughts and ego, and for once was able to fully appreciate what I was hearing. These songs were beautiful. I missed the mark on how much life there were within these few seconds. There was no judgment, no comparison to myself. It was cathartic. You know, I never gave credit to where it was due, but for the first time, I was really able to accept where my influences lied. Back then, I would resent having to be compared to these artists because to me, it would mean I failed to be original. You know, I tried so hard to do it myself and to be unique that I didn't realize that was the very thing holding me back. And now I couldn't be more happy to show it. Because these artists helped influence and develop more than just my music. These artists gave my music personality, and I'm thankful for that. And to show my gratitude, I feel like a magician revealing this trick, but my latest song, Staring, was influenced by Wally Hopkins' Cut. I started the song Rewind because I wanted to do something like James Ivy's Texas. On the Ground was a cover of Rosé's original song. I Don't Care's Driving Beat was based off of Foster the People's Houdini. Rockstar was in reference to Number Girl, and you probably would never be able to tell if I never said anything. They are all beautiful songs that I loved, and I couldn't help but to take influence. Some people could see it as stealing. At the end of the day, I'm taking someone else's idea and labeling it as my own. I'm a thief. I've stolen lots of my favorite music and put it into my songs. But it's not for any monetary gain, no. It's rather coming from a place of adoration and gratitude for the music. It's a mark of the impact that it had on me. And it's me also wanting to share that same feeling to the world. And there's no shame in doing that. My former self would say, how unoriginal. And yeah, it's unoriginal, but look, nothing's 100% original. Every artist steals from their favorite artists, and those artists take from their favorites. If it comes from a place of love for the music, then why does it matter? In a way, in this world, we're all collaborators. I wrote this new song. It's called Kung Fu, and I didn't shy away from stealing. In fact, it's probably the most I've ever stole from any song. And given the context, it's possibly the most unoriginal song that I've made. But to me, it doesn't sound like it. I think it's one of the most fun things I've written, and I think it all to that song. And take a listen. Can you guess where it's from?